The smell wasn't coming from my neighbor's apartment. It was coming from mine. I live alone in a quiet apartment building where nothing ever happens. Thin walls, flickering hallway lights, the kind of place you forget about the second you close the door. A few weeks ago, I started noticing a smell in my apartment. It wasn't constant, just random waves of it. Sour, metallic, like something rotting, but faint enough that I could almost ignore it. I figured it was the building. Old pipes, bad ventilation. I opened windows, lit candles, moved on. Then I noticed my neighbor in apartment 3B never slept. I work late shifts, so I'd come home around 2 or 3 a.m., and his lights were always on. Every night. When I left for work in the morning, still on. Sometimes I heard pacing through the wall. Other times, nothing at all. Just the feeling that someone was standing there, listening. The smell started getting worse. It was strongest near my front door. That didn't make sense. My place was clean. No trash, no spoiled food. I checked under the sink, behind the fridge, even the vents. Nothing. One night around 2 a.m., I heard 3 slow knocks. Not on my door, on the wall we shared. I froze. At the same time, my phone buzzed with an email from building management, reminding tenants to report any unusual smells immediately. The next morning, I ran into the neighbor in the hallway. Same gray hoodie, same exhausted eyes. Before I could say anything, he looked at me and said, "You should really check your apartment." I laughed, asked what he meant. He said, "You keep airing it out, but it won't help." That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 3 a.m., the smell came back stronger than ever. I finally snapped and started tearing my apartment apart. Closet, bathroom, kitchen, nothing. Then I went into the bedroom. The smell was strongest near my bed. I got down on my knees and noticed a floorboard slightly warped, like it had been lifted before. I got down on my knees and noticed a floorboard slightly warped, like it had been lifted before. I don't remember it ever being like that. I pried it up. Underneath was a shallow space I didn't know existed. Inside were sealed bags, labeled, dates written in black marker. Every date matched nights I remembered waking up exhausted, sore, like I hadn't slept at all. There was a knock on my door. Loud. When I opened it, the neighbor stood there, wide awake, calm. He looked past me into my apartment and said, "Good. You finally found it." Then he smiled and said, "Now you remember why I never sleep."